are available in all over the world. That is, one is natural fiber and another one is a artificial fiber, or we can call it as a synthetic fiber. Okay, so we have in the natural fibers, in two ways we can get the fiber, either by the plants, either by the animals. So in this chapter we are going to focus on only the plant fibers. Which plant fibers we have discussed earlier? Can anybody remember? Which plant fibers we have discussed? Yes, one plant fibers we have discussed, that is cotton, and another one is a jute, and third one extraordinary example I have given from where the new type of fibers are going to create. That one is nothing but it is a banana stem. Okay, we can banana only. By stem only we can collect the fiber. So these are the three plant fibers from where we will get the different type of fibers. That is, so cotton. First one we are going to discuss the cotton fiber. How we will get the cotton fiber, isn't it? So have you seen the cotton plant? Cotton plant have you seen? So at which place the cotton balls are available? On the flower, on the stem, the leaves, on the roots, or on the fruit? So you can see that the cotton plant, in that one, first of all one flower is going to convert in the fruit. The fruit is like the size of lemon. Have you seen the cotton fruit? It is just like the almond fruit. Badam irtad nodri, adu thara irtad. Once the plant get mature, that fruit get mature, that one get burst. The fruit get burst, and in that one the very white type of cotton is available. Suppose we will take the example when the fruit is very green, when it is not matured, if you are going to open that one, the fruit, you can see that you will not get the correct cotton because already it is not matured. It is very wet. So it is not easy to pick up the cotton from that wet fruit. But once it is matured, when it gets burst automatically, explode, it gets open, and in that one, the collecting the cotton is very easy because it is dry, it is lightweight, and it is having seeds inside that one. So picking that cotton, in the small farmers can pick the cotton by hand only, by manually they will do the work. But in some of the states, the farm is too much big. The cotton farming is too much big, that is well and good commercial, it will give the good money to the farmer, the cotton product. So in that one they are using the machines to collect the cotton. What the machine will do, it will only pick up the cotton from that fruit. The remaining plant will remain as it is. Okay, so cotton we will get, once we get from it, you can see that it is white and white, cotton is. But inside directly that cotton, from that cotton we cannot make the fabric or cloth. Because in that one, what are present? The seeds are present. That seed should be removed, no? You can see that the seed inside this one, they are attached to the cotton. Isn't it? They are not like a separate. It is wounded by, or it is covered with cotton. So making the or clearing the or removing the seeds from the cotton ball is called as a ginning. That process, the process to remove the seeds from the cotton ball is called as a ginning. So in some of the farming, the ginning is done by the Ginning is done by the manually they can remove. You can see that in your home, your grandmother or your mothers are going to remove the seeds by hand only for making the wicks. Wicks means ಬತ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಹತ್ತಿಯೊಳಗಿಂದೆಲ್ಲ ತಾವು ತೆಗಿತಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ means we are not using any machine. But in the factories or if they started picking the seeds by one, how much time it will take? Too much time it will take, isn't it? So that work is done by the machines. Means the seeds get separated automatically from that cotton. How the process is there? At the last of this video, we are going to share one video. From there you will come to know how the seeds get separated from the cotton balls. So this one, you can see that in the ancient time, the people are going to wear only cotton clothes. There is no another type of clothes are available. Synthetic fibers are not there at that time. Only cotton is available. So from that cotton ball, you can see that easily you can get the threads or yarns. You can see that even take a small cotton. If you are going to twist that one, easily you can mold to any shape that cotton, isn't it? So like this, it is a very easy process for taking the yarns or strands into fibers. First of all, they are in the form of fibers. Then they are in the yarns, and from that fibers, the cotton cloths are prepared automatically. Manual is here. First of all, when previous time the machines are not there, what will happen? The yarns or the fibers are collected manually. ಕೈಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. Do you know charkha? All of you, the Gandhiji is using charkha. They are preparing the fibers from the cotton. The process is very easy. At the one end, if you are going to hold one cotton ball, and in that one you can see that one wheel is there. One ghali irtadalli. And if you are going to start twisting that cotton easily with the help of this wheel, if you are going to rotate this one, the slowly that cotton becomes it just like fiber. It is turned into the fiber and it start rotating to the wheel. And from that, whatever it is, the fiber, again that fiber will be removed and it is get reeled or it is get twisted to any one material, and from that fiber it is going to be prepared in the handlooms. That one we will see afterwards. The two type of spinning is there. How the fibers are going to be converted into the fabric. ಬರೀ ದಾರ ಆದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ದಾರ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕೂಡಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ is it possible? No. In our home we are having the reels. So we can see that the fabric making process is easy in that one. So in easy way, by using charkha or by using another one handle, means manual instrument is there by which we can prepare the fabric. That is two type of. These machines are operated by our hands. That is first one is charkha and another one is, it is called as a takli. It is one like needle like structure is there. Okay, needle means, do you know suji? But the needle is very small. This instrument is little bit bigger than that one. In once, see here, you have to put one, make one start point, insert from that one. How we are going to insert the thread from the needle hole? Like that, you have to start from that one. Once it started rotating, automatically that cotton is going to convert in the directly. It is converted into fibers. It will rotate. By manually, if you have started rotating that one, manually, slowly you will get the fiber. It is going to be insert like this, rolling like this. So these are the two hand spinners. It is called as a hand spinner. Means by hand you have to spin that one like this. So, and charkha you know already. The diagram is there, or the picture is there in your textbook. From where you will get that how the cotton is going to be converted into the fabric. So this one is nothing but it is a ginning. And once the fiber is prepared, from that fiber, how the fabric is prepared or cloth is prepared. Before going that one, just I want to show one thing. After that we will continue with that one. See this one? This one is nothing but it is a cotton cloth. It is prepared from the cotton threads or cotton fibers. Isn't it? So you can see that it is very nice. The cloth is very nice, but actually before weaving this one, these threads are not like this. Okay? So before preparing this one or weaving this one is not like this. So you can see that this one, these are nothing but these are the threads or fibers from which this scarf is woven or scarf is weaved. So you can see that even though this fiber, you can see this one already it is twisted, but you can see that small threads we are having here. Okay, see these small threads, you are going to see this one. These are nothing but these are called as a yarns. Afterwards, can you see this one? A small threads. It is just like a yarns. And from these yarns, when it gets twisted, it is converted into the fiber. And from that fiber, you can see that if you are going to stretch this cloth, you can easily see that how the cloth is woven. You can see that one thread is vertical and one thread is horizontal. Like this, easily you can see this one. Once it is get stretched, so easily you can see this type. See here, easily you can remove these yarns, these fibers. Can you see the small yarns? Isn't it? Can you see? Don't see the camera. See here only. Okay. So you can see the small fibers from the small 1 fiber that is converted into the yarns, and from that see this one. Even a small, this one is thread. You can see the hundreds of fibers you are having if you are going to separate this one. Like, see here, how many threads are there? Isn't it? So, one thread, one fiber get twisted to one each other, and after that, in the two ways, we can view this cloth. Either by the hand loom or either by the machine loom, or we can call it as a power loom. Power loom is nothing but the machine operated on the electricity or power. Nowadays you can see that near our place we are having the cotton looms or hand looms are available. The very famous place is there for the cotton sarees near our place, that is Banatti sarees. You know, all of you, they are very famous all over the Karnataka. In that one, in some of the looms, the cotton sarees are weaved by the hand. The people or the skilled workers, they are molding like this, they are weaving like this by hand only. So how the weaving process is going to be done, we are going to see one activity on the Friday class. How the threads are getting interact with each other. How one thread is like this, one thread is like this. Again one thread is like this, like this. When it is going to be bound to each other, then only the complete one sari get viewed. But that process is not so easy. For weaving one sari, at least by hand, okay, I am telling by hand, it will take 3-4 days or one time if the design is more. If it is more and more color combinations are there, then it will take more and more time. But with machine, it is very easy. Nowadays it is easy. What they will do, they will put the color threads like this, the rolls, and once the machine gets started, they will create the design whatever it is set like that, and the one sari will be prepared in little half an hour or like that. But handmade saris or handmade cloths are having more and more value, and they're more costly. Why it is like that? Why they are more costly? Because you can see that if any one mistake is there in weaving, the design get disturbed, the color combination get disturbed, isn't it? So it will take more energy of the work. Particular, see here, every time they have to do like this, they have to stitch like this. Once the reel get over, again they have to attach the another reel. So much work is there, hard work is there. So that will come under the weaving section. Okay, that we'll see afterwards in the next class how the weaving process is going on. So another one, plant fiber, which we are going to see, that is a jute. Do you know jute, all of you? Hagga, sutali, gonichila. Have you heard this one? See how they are. Even you can, if you are going to take one jute fiber, in that one, if you are going to open that one, when it is new, it is very stiff, very hard. But once it becomes old, daily washing, if the too much water is falling on that one for too many days, if that jute fiber is there in the rainy season for too much days, you can see that easily the threads get distracted or get separated. So the jute fiber we will get from the jute plant. What we can say, purposefully that jute plant is harvested in the farm. In some of the states like Bihar, Assam, Mizoram, UP, the jute plant is purposefully planted to get the jute fiber. It is having too much demand. Jute fiber is now, you can see that there are too many things we can prepare from the jute fiber, like doormat. Mani ಮುಂದೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಡೋರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ರಾವ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್, ಗೋಣಿ ಚೀಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ದ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರೋಪ್ಸ್, ಹಗ್ಗ ಅಂತೀರಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನೀವು, ಹಗ್ಗನೂ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ದಪ್ಪ ದಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಅನದರ್ ಒನ್, nowadays it is a fancy vanity bags, vanity purses, baskets, too many things we can prepare from this jute fiber. Nowadays it is. Previously they are having only two uses. Either they have to make the bag ಅರೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಡೋರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಗೋಣಿ ಚೀಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಸುತ್ತಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ nowadays too many things can be prepared from this jute fiber. How this jute fiber is prepared, how it is cultivated? See here, jute plant will grow where there is a too much rain is there. First of all, this plant is grown in a medium climate conditioning. So after that, you can see that when the flowers started coming to that plants they are making cut, and only the stem part they are using. The plant's stem, what they will do? They will make one bunch and they will throw in the water, making the one bunch group and throwing the water. If that stem will remain for too many days, that's why this jute fiber creation, it is done in the rainy season only. Why? Because in the rainy season too much water is there everywhere. So that stems will bound, or you can collect that one, tie that one and throw in the water. Too many days they are keeping that stems for as it is. Hanga ulitavu. Once after some days what will happen? That stems get rot. Rot andre kolidike chalu agtava. Then that's why the fibers present in that one, they started separating automatically. Tama separate agadike chalu agtava fibers. And after that they will remove that stems, and they are going to what we can say, they are going to put like this, they are pushing or beating that one stems very hardly. In this way the fibers present, very some hard fibers will remain as it is, they are going to separate automatically. Tama separate agtava. Why? Because the stems will remain in the water for too many days. Because of that one, the fibers started separate. Even though you can see that, take one small example, take one cotton cloth, isn't it, or any one jute cloth, and throw that one in the water for some days, and take another synthetic cloth, and that also you throw in the bucket. So after some days, what you will find that the cotton cloth, it started tearing automatically. Very fast it will tear, because the threads present in that one or fibers present in that one, they started separating by the process that is called as a rotting. That process is called as a rotting. remaining things. If the food material is there, that is called as the decaying. But if we relate it to the cloth, if that cloth will remain in the water for too many days, it will start rotting, means the fiber started separating automatically. Tama separate then that process is called as rotting. By this process, the stem of the jute, the fibers present in that when they started separating each other by, and after beating badly, automatically that threads get separate, and from that one in the factories they will dry, make it dry, and after dyeing that one, what will happen? That will be bounded, the different things can be prepared from that jute fiber. So these two are nothing but the plant fibers. They are prepared from the plant fiber. Nowadays it is very rare, but you can see this one, the nowadays banana is from the stem of the banana same. You can easily also, now in a normal days also you can see that you take one stem of the banana, easily the threads are get separated by your normal hands also. So from that one different decorative things are prepared, like wall hangings, baskets, many things they are going to prepare, mats. In some of the places the things are prepared from the mats are prepared from the banana only, banana stem only. Once it get dry, it becomes stiff. So like this, the plant fibers are very eco-friendly. They are very good for the nature, because you can see that cotton cloth, once it get teared, once you can easily use that cloth anywhere. You can use for washing the hand, wiping the hand, for clean flooring, for anything you can. But the synthetic fiber, even though it get teared or once we cannot use that one once again, because they are not holding the water. Once you put in that water, everywhere water is. Even though if you are shrinking or doing like this, the water will remain in that one only. So these are eco-friendly, means after tearing also they can be converted into the, they will decay very fast. They becomes the fertilizer for the plants. So like this, they are called as the eco-friendly products. Now synthetic fibers, that is not there in your syllabus. Only two type of fibers we are going to focus in this one. So plant fibers today we have seen, that is nothing but it is a cotton or jute. So if you are having any doubts, you can ask afterwards. Now I am going to share one small video by which you will come to know how this